Hello everyone, welcome back to the video class of business regulation. In our previous video class, we discussed what is performance of contract and types of performance. So today is the continuation of that topic. In this video, we are going to discuss who can perform a contract or who is liable to perform a contract, who can demand performance, time and place of performance. Is time is essential of the contract. Cases where contracts need not be performed. So these are the topic which we cover in today's discussion. Okay, take the first topic. Who can perform a contract or who is liable for performance? There are mainly 5 persons who are liable for the performance of the contract. They are promisor, joint promisor, representatives, agent and third person. So take the first person, that is promisor himself. Section 40 of the Indian Contract Act says that if a contract needs the performance of a promisor in himself, such promise must be performed by the promisor. In other words, contracts involving personal skills or those depending upon personal trust and confidence must be performed by the promisor himself. Example, promise to marry, promise to sing, promise to write books, promise to paint picture, etc. In all these cases, performance must be done by promisor himself. If the promisor dies in such contract, the contracts come to an end. So, no one can replace with that promisor. So this is the first case. In this case, contract involving personal skill, taste or diligence of the promisor must be needed. So no one can replace the role of the promisor in this case. So he must perform the contract. Now take the next party who is liable to perform the contract, that is agent. Indian Contract Act says that if a contract is impersonal in nature, an agent can perform the contract. In other words, when the personal skill of the promisor is not necessary and the work could be done by anyone, then the promisor or his representatives may fix a competent person to perform it. He acts as the agent of the promisor. Okay, now next one is a legal representative. If the promisor dies before the performance of the contract, his legal representatives like sons and daughters can perform the contract. Actually, they are liable to perform that contract. For example, X promises to deliver goods to Y on or before a particular date on payment of rupees 500 by Y. X dies before that particular date. In this case, X's legal representatives are bound to deliver the goods to Y. Y is bound to pay rupees 500 to X legal representative. So this is the case of legal representative. Now next is a third person. A contract can be performed by a third party if the promisee accepts that agreement. But once the promisee accepts the performance from the third person, he cannot force the promisor to perform that contracts again. Here the contracts come to an end. And the last party who is liable to perform the contract is joint promisor. When two or more persons make a joint promise to promisee, all joint promisors are bound to perform the contract. Suppose a person from a joint promisor get deceased or died, that person's legal representatives can perform the contract along with the other joint promisors. So this is our first topic, persons liable for the performance or who can perform the contract. Now the next topic for today's discussion is who can demand performance or who can demand performance of the contract. Promisee, legal representative, third party and joint promisee can demand the performance of the contract. Okay, now take the first person, that is promisee. Promisee can only demand the performance of the promise under a contract. For example, A promises B to pay rupees 10,000 to C. Here only B can demand performance and not C. Here B is the promisee. So he can only demand the performance of the contract. Next is legal representatives. In case of death of the promisee, his legal representatives can demand performance. But in this case also some exception is there. If the contract is personal nature, legal representatives cannot demand the performance of contract. Okay, just look this example, you can clear what I said. A promises to marry B on a specified day, but B dies before the specified day. The legal representatives of B cannot demand performance of the promise from A because the contract is in personal nature and performance is impossible. Now next is third party. In certain cases, a third person who is not a party to the contract can also demand performance. For example, beneficiary in case of trust. He can demand the performance of the contract even though he is not a party to that contract. Next is a joint promisee. In case of joint promisees, all of them have a right to demand the performance of the contract. Suppose a person from joint promisee get deceased or died, that person's legal representatives have the right to demand the performance of the contract along with the other joint promisees. Okay, now the next topic for today's discussion is time and place of performance. While making contract, the parties by mutual agreement decide about time and place of contract, and both are expected to perform their respective promises accordingly. Now we can discuss some rules regarding time and place of contract by Indian Contract Act 1872. The legal rules regarding time and place of performance of the contracts are given in section 46 to 50 of the Indian Contract Act. So there is mainly 5 situations where different rules are applied regarding the time and place of performance of the contract. They are where no time is specified and also no request is to be made by the promisee, where time is specified but no request is to be made by the promisee, where time is specified but a request is to be made by the promisee, where no place is specified and no request is to be made by the promisee, performance in the manner or at the time prescribed or sanctioned by the promisee. These are the cases which is related with the time and place of performance. Now coming to first case, where no time is specified and no request is to be made by the promisee. This was explained under section 46 of the Indian Contract Act. When time of performance is not specified and no request of performance is given by the promisee, in such case, promiser has to perform the contract within a reasonable time. Here, reasonable time depends upon the intention of parties, nature of the contract and circumstances. Now, next is where time is specified but no request is to be made by the performance. It was explained under section 47 of the Indian Contract Act. So, here time of performance is given, but there is no request is given by the promisee for the performance. So, in such case, the promiser can perform the contract at any time during the usual business hours of the day mentioned in the agreement. So, you have a better understanding. Look this example. A agreed to supply 200 bags of sugar to B on 1st October at a particular price. A should deliver these bags to B during usual business hours on 1st October. Here 1st October is the time, so the promiser can deliver the product on that day to the promisee. Okay, now next is where time is specified but a request is to be made by the promisee. This was explained under section 48 of the Indian Contract Act. In this case, time of performance is specified, but for performance of that contract needs a request of the promisee, but it was not given by the promisee. So, in such cases, it is the duty of the promisee to apply for the performance at a proper place and within usual hours of the business. So, in this case, promisee must apply for the performance, then only that contract is performed. Okay, now look this example which is related with this case. Here A agreed to supply 50 bags of tea to B on 8th September. As per terms of contract, B would apply for performance of the contract within usual business hours. So B must inform A regarding time and place of supply of tea bags to him. So here B must give a confirmation regarding the time and place of delivery. Then only that contract is completed. Okay, next is no place is specified and also no request is to be made by the promisee. This was explained under section 49 of the Indian Contract Act. According to this section, where the place for performance is not fixed in the contract and no request or demand is to be made by the promisee in this regard. So, in such cases, it is the duty of the promiser to perform the promise by fixing or deciding a reasonable place for the performance and then perform it from that place. In case the place of performance is fixed in a contract, promiser is bound to perform at that place. The place which is fixed in a contract must be reasonable for both the parties. Place of performance implies both a place for delivery of goods and place of payment. Now look this example. Ram entered into a contract for supplying 100 quintals of jute to Shyam on 5th September at a specific price. On due date of performance, Ram must apply to Shyam for determining reasonable place and must deliver the jute to him at that place. Here, both Ram and Shyam must be comfortable with that place. Both are agree with that place. Then only the performance is completed. Okay, now the next one is performance in the manner or at the time prescribed or sanctioned by the promisee. This was explained under section 50 of the Indian Contract Act. According to section 50 of the Contract Act, where the manner and the time of performance have been prescribed or sanctioned by the promisee, in such cases the performance of promise must be made in the prescribed manner and at the prescribed time. So, when a contract there is some manner or time is prescribed by the promisee, it must be followed by the promiser. Then only the contract is completed. Now look this example. A owes rupees 5,000 to B. B agreed to accept some goods supplied by A in the deduction of the debt. The delivery of goods will be considered as a part of the payment. So here performance of the contract is completed in a manner which is prescribed and sanctioned by the promisee. Okay, now moving to the next topic. Actually it is a question. So the question is whether time is essence of the contract. So what do you think? Is time is essential for a contract? Of course, time is very essential factor in a contract. So time as the essence of the contract means the performance of the promise by a party to the contract shall be within the specified time or within the reasonable time. So we can say in some circumstances time is very essential and some other case time is not that much essential. In a contract where time is as the essence of the contract and if there is failure in performance of the obligation within the specified time, when the contract become voidable at the option of the promisee. If the promisee accept the performance of the contract after the specified time, then in such case promisee is not entitled to claim compensation for any loss suffered due to non-performance of contract on time. So, in this case promisee has no right to get the compensation for any loss suffered due to non-performance of contract on time. Now, in a contract where time is not essence of the contract, it does not make the contract voidable. But the thing is, if any loss suffered by the contract due to non-performance of the contract at a specified time, they cannot claim for the damages. So, this is the answer for the question whether time is essence of the contract. Now, we can discuss the situations where contract is need not be performed. So, there are some situations when such situation is occurred, we need not perform the contract. So, the situations are when its performance become impossible. Sometimes the performance of certain contract is impossible. So, at that time we need not perform the contract. Then the next one is when the parties to a contract agree to substitute a new contract for it, or to cancel or alter it. So in such case also we need not perform the contract. Then the third one is when the promisee releases from its obligations or excuses for its performance, either wholly or in part, or extend the time for the performance, or accept any other satisfaction in its place. So in this case also promisor need not perform the contract. Now the fourth one is when the person at whose option it is voidable resigned it. So in such case also contract is need not be performed. And the promisee neglects or refuses to afford the promiser reasonable facilities for the performance of promise. And the last one is when it is illegal. So these are the cases. In these cases we need not perform the contract. Okay, now we can discuss the questions which is related with this area. They are: who can perform the contract, who can demand a performance, explain the rules regarding time and place of performance, time as essence of the contract, explain this statement, explain the cases where contracts need not be performed. So students, today we covered so many topics related with the performance of contract. Firstly, we discussed who can perform the contract, then who can demand a performance, time and place of performance, time as essence of the contract, and lastly, cases where contracts need not be performed. So hope you guys understand all these things. Now it is the time for winding up for today's discussion. So we can meet with our next video. Till then, bye, take care.